Hello, I'm not hearing anybody. Can we hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Uncle Ezzy, what's going on?
Papa D, I want to share my screen and it looks like sharing and recording is colliding. I don't know, but anyways, let's go. All right, so today we are going to be looking at emotional intelligence. And what we are going to be looking under is the definition, types of emotional intelligence, components of emotional intelligence, benefits of emotional intelligence, and how to build a high emotional intelligence. So these are the things we are going to be looking at under emotional intelligence. Introduction. What is emotional intelligence? So emotional intelligence is the ability to build, understand, use, and manage your emotions and the emotions of others. So the ability to build, understand, manage, and manage your own emotions and the emotions of others in a positive way. So it means there is negative emotional intelligence and positive. And the ability to manage your own emotions and the emotions of others in a constructive way, that is positive emotional intelligence. For example, imagine someone that is just had a heartbreak, and you go to the person for an advice on relationship. Automatically what the person is going to give you is going to be negative based on the emotions they are feeling at that same time. So the person will only give you what they are feeling. The person will share their emotions to you, not really the advice that you want. So somebody can influence your emotions negatively. Another example, imagine somebody that just went through a divorce and you carry your marital problems to the person. Automatically, the person will advise you to divorce. What if your situation was to be remedied? If it is a situation that you know that can be remedied, you go to a wrong person, the person will manage that your emotion in a negative way. It will not be constructive. So that is the definition of emotional intelligence. The next thing we are going to be looking at is the types of emotional intelligence. So we have 4 types of emotional intelligence that are being approved, that have been approved by psychology. It means there are other types of intelligence, but we'll focus on these 4. We'll focus on these 4 types of emotional intelligence that has been approved by psychology. The first one is the intelligence quotient, what we usually call IQ. The intelligence quotient, IQ. The second one is the emotional quotient, which is the EQ. The third one is the social quotient, which is SQ. And the fourth is adversity quotient, which is AQ. So we have 4 types of emotional intelligence, but there are others. But tonight we are going to be focused on the 4 types that has been approved by psychology. So the first one we are going to be looking at is IQ, which is the intelligence quotient. So IQ, it is the measure of your level of comprehension and understanding. IQ is the measure of your level of comprehension and understanding. Example, you need a good IQ to be able to solve maths. You need a good IQ to do physics, to do chemistry. It is not just any type of person that will go and do maths or do this kind of subjects that we always classify as strong or they are harder than the other ones. So you need a very high IQ to do mathematics. So they always consider these A-grade students, the best students in class, to be students with a very high IQ. In marriage or in relationship, we have some spouses that are highly, like they are really, really intelligent. They have a very high IQ. Okay. And the other ones, maybe the other ones will fall under EQ, SQ, or AQ. So as we go further, we'll see how we can balance the two if an IQ and an EQ person gets married. Okay, the second one is EQ, which is the emotional quotient. So the emotional quotient is the ability to maintain peace with others, keep to time, be responsible, honest, humble, respect boundaries, and be considerate. So this EQ is, it represents our character. Yes, emotional quotient represents our character. Someone with a high EQ is the kind of person that if you say we'll meet at 8, at exactly 8, the person is standing where you people had to meet. It's somebody that respects boundaries. He knows that I cannot call somebody after 9. So the person respects boundary. You don't need to keep telling them day by day. So they are very considerate. They are humble and honest. So when you see this kind of people, know that they have a very high EQ. The third one is SQ. SQ is the measure of your ability to build a network of friends and maintain it over a long period of time. SQ represents your charisma. Yeah, because there are some people that they build, they have friends just as the day goes, like day by day. Today they meet friends, they forget about the other ones. Tomorrow they make new ones, they forget about the other ones they make yesterday. So the people with high SQ are the people that can make friends, they can create or build a network of friends and maintain it for a long period of time. It's like you finding your tribe, like a group of people where you people, maybe you share the word together or you share some kind of things together and you maintain that group for a long time. So if you find yourself in this other type, know that you have a very, or if you find yourself having the same friends for a long time, it means you have a very high SQ, that is social quotient. You have a very high SQ. So it is also noted, or it has been proven, that people with high EQ and SQ, that's people with high emotional quotient and high social quotient, turns to go far in life more than people with intelligent quotient. Why? When you go to organizations and you want to look at the CEO of that organization, the person who created the organization, you will discover that it's mostly the people that we considered in school as the C-grade students, like we consider in school that they were not intelligent. So when these people comes out from school, they feel that they cannot continue because they don't really have the IQ for school. And what they do is they go and open businesses. And when they open businesses, they will look for somebody with a very high IQ to come and manage that business. So the person with a very high EQ and SQ, they are people that are business oriented. It's like they give up on education, that they are not intelligent. So when they open their businesses, they go and look for those people that have very high IQ to come and manage their businesses. So there is a book written by Robert Kiyosaki, Why A students work for C students. Robert Kiyosaki, when you read that book, Why A students work for C students? That is, why do people with high intelligent quotient tend to work under people with high emotional quotient and social quotient? The fourth one is AQ. AQ is the measure of your ability to go through a rough part of life and come out of it without losing your mind or without losing yourself. The adversity quotient determines who will give up, who will abandon their families, or who will commit suicide. So we can see that in Proverbs 24 verse 10, which says, if you faint in the days of your adversity, then your strength is small. Yes. So linking this to relationship or marriage, and a person with a high IQ can get married to a person with a high EQ. You will discover that this person with a high IQ is somebody that is office oriented. I want to go to the office, or I want to, and those people like to be managers. They like to control. They like to control what others have created. And then the people with high EQ are the people that create. Okay, imagine now you are married to somebody with a very high IQ, and at some point the person loses his job. He will want to come to work under you as the manager. He will not want to come and sit or let somebody else manage them. So at times it start bringing some hinges in marriage where maybe somebody, you were working and now you are no more working, you are sitting in the house and the other person is going out, maybe managing a small business. From there you always start looking at it as if that person is now better than you. It is just because you have your own different IQ. You have your own different quotient, while the other person has their own different quotient. And if the person that is business oriented loses a job, they will not sit in the house. They will look for the next business, or they will want to create something for themselves. They will not come and sit like people with high IQ. The people with high IQ will always sit and wait for others to create before they fall in. So when you understand these types of emotional intelligence, when you understand it, you'll be able to manage your spouse. You understand where they are coming from. And the people with high IQ, they always get frustrated when things are not working. They get so easily frustrated. But the people with high EQ and high SQ, they are sociable. And they have they have a group of friends or a group of people that they have created that they can always lean on whenever they face difficulties. And the people with AQ, that's adversity quotient, there are some people that when it is not going, they commit suicide. There are some that when it is not going, they abandon their family. Since I can no longer provide, better I go till the day I will find myself before I come back. So the Bible says that if you faint in those days, it means that your strength was still small. You did not build capacity enough. Okay. All right, we are done with the types. So the next thing we are going to be looking at is the components of emotional intelligence. What are the components of emotional intelligence? We have self-awareness, we have empathy, we have motivation, self-regulation, and social skills. Those are the components of emotional intelligence. So we are going to look at it one after the other. Self-awareness, as far as emotional intelligence is concerned, is the ability to understand and name your emotion. Know what you are feeling and why you are feeling it. That is self-awareness. You might get up in the morning sad. Why are you sad? You have to know the reason. The fact that you have understood that you are sad, you have named that emotion you are feeling at that time. I'm sad. All right, why am I sad? At times you get up from bed, you just start feeling grumpy. You don't even, nobody did something to you, but you just start feeling grumpy. Why are you feeling the feeling you are feeling at that time? That is self-awareness. Because when you are able to name your emotion, you can be able to control it. You cannot control what you don't even know. So when you know it, you can control it. So that's what we call self-awareness under emotional intelligence. So you understand your feeling and why you are feeling what you are feeling at that moment. The second component is self-management. Self-management is the ability to manage and regulate your own emotions. It involves being aware of your emotions and how it impacts your actions. Yes, how does your emotion impact your actions? There are people that when you have maybe misunderstanding with your spouse, the next thing you are slapping the children up and down. That is how it impacts your actions. So when you manage yourself, you at that period when you are not okay, you want to just tell the children to go out. You want to be alone so that you will not end up taking an action that you will regret after. You can still you can be angry and you say some word, you say what you don't mean, but we know the power of spoken words. And tomorrow you start seeing the results of those words you spoke. Yes, so when we manage ourselves, it will prevent us from taking some certain actions that can implement us tomorrow. The third point is motivation. The third component is motivation. Motivation now is the ability to use your emotions to derive motivation and achieve goals. It involves being aware of what motivates you and what motivates you to achieve your goals. So what is that thing that pushes you to achieve your goal? What is that thing that when you get up in the morning, like, okay, you run a business, for instance, what is that thing that pushes you to want to do more? So when you discover that thing, you focus on that thing and forget about the other ones that maybe they demotivate you. Do away with your demotivators and focus on your motivators. Okay, for example, let me link this one to maybe marriage or relationship. What is that thing that makes you just want to get angry with your spouse? Forget about that thing and look at what makes you happy with him or her. What's that thing that when you say he is happy or she is happy, focus on those ones. And forget about the negative aspects. Okay, the fourth component of emotional intelligence is empathy. Empathy. Empathy is the ability to recognize and understand other people's emotions. So the ability to recognize and understand other people's emotions. It involves being able to put yourself in someone else's shoe and imagine how they feel. As the Bible says, do to others what you want them to do to you. So this, with empathy as a component of emotional intelligence, you have to also recognize, know that that thing that you used to feel, maybe when you are sad, your partner can also feel it when he or she is sad. Yes, you are not the only person that has the ability to get angry. Other people can get angry too. But the ability to understand and also name their emotions, what they are feeling at that time, matters a lot. Because at times when we are hurt and maybe somebody helps us out from that situation, tomorrow maybe the same person is also hurt. Like you want to just make as if you don't even care, you don't understand what they are feeling. Yeah, but you have to understand what the other person is feeling. so that you can help them out. The fifth component is social skill. Social skills. The fifth component of emotional intelligence is social skills. Social skill is the ability to use emotional intelligence to guide your interactions and build relationship with others. So your social skills is the ability to build a relationship with others. There are some people that cannot even stay with people for 5 minutes. You must hear a quarrel or something must happen. So you should build your social skills. You should be able to interact with people. You should be able to interact and come out with a positive result. Don't interact with people and what they hear after is something else. There are some people that when they come close to you is to talk about somebody. What do you do when you are socializing? So the social skills is the ability to use your emotional intelligence to guide interactions and build relationships with others. Okay, the next thing we'll look at is the benefits of emotional intelligence. Why emotional intelligence? So what is the benefit of a strong emotional intelligence? The first one, you can build a stronger and satisfying relationship with others. So a strong emotional intelligence helps you to build a stronger and satisfied relationship with others. Yes, you have a good relationship with people. Maybe when somebody goes out there, what people say about you is always positive. When you are around, people are happy. Like in a home. Are you a parent that when you are out, the children are so happy? When you are coming, everybody is in the room. So it will help you to build a very strong and satisfying relationship with others. The second point, you can achieve your goals and overcome challenges. Yes, we'll link this point to the adversity quotient. When you go through a situation, you go through a challenge and come out of it victorious without losing yourself in that situation. It means you have a very strong emotional intelligence. The third point, you can communicate effectively, persuasively, clearly, and respectfully, thereby building a strong relationship with others. They always say that how you say something is better than what you say. What you are saying can be very important, but how do you put it? You can be raising a very important point, but how are you saying it? How it is said is better than what is said. So when you have a strong emotional intelligence, you will be able to communicate effectively. You communicate clearly and respectfully while building a strong relationship with others. The fourth point, you can reduce anxiety and stress by being aware of your emotions and your own coping strategy. Okay, as we said before, for self-awareness, when you name your emotion, so you can know how to manage it. So when you name your emotion, you'll be able to develop a coping strategy. Maybe when you are angry, you like to lock yourself in the room and just be alone. That is a coping strategy that you've developed for yourself. Or maybe when you are upset, you want to just go out of the house and take fresh air. That is your coping strategy. For some people, when they are upset, they write. They just pick a pen and start writing. That's a coping strategy that you have developed for yourself. So when you stick to it, you realize that small issues will not always overwhelm you. You already know that, okay, when I'm upset, when this person upsets me, I pick my pen and I start writing. You just write, and the inspiration at that time is always very strong. So when you develop your coping strategy, it will help you to reduce anxiety and stress. Okay, the fifth point, you can make better decisions and solve problems by being rational, creative, and flexible. Yes, you don't make you are not static, you are flexible. You can be able to, you switch. You can be able to, like some people say, this person is wicked, but there are people that are still living with those wicked people, and for years, they are flexible. They know that, okay, when this person is like this, I have to switch. When this person is like this, I have to switch. What we call mood swings. When the mood swings and you are there, you already understand the person. You know that when this person is like this, I have to be like this. Like myself, when I was growing up, if I get up in the morning and maybe I'm busy doing some house chores, if my father wakes up and I see his eyes red, that day I'm going to the farm. I will just leave everything I was doing and go to the farm because I know that that day is going to be bad. So if you are staying back home, it means you know how flexible you are going to be around him. If not, you will receive beatings. So that is the way we had understood him. When you see him with his eyes really red, you just have to look for something and be doing, or you go to the farm where you will not be able to see him. While coming back in the evening, he's already okay and everything goes back to normal. Okay, the sixth point, which is the last point under the benefits, is you can enhance creativity and improve on your mental health and well-being. So it will help you to enhance creativity and improve on your mental health and well-being. You can just, maybe when you are not okay, you pick something. There are some people that are very creative when they are not in their very best moment. You see, somebody will just sit like this and create something, and when the person comes back to his or herself, you ask the person, "How did you come out with this thing?" The person will tell you that, "I don't even know. I don't know what happened." But they created it when they were not in their good moment. They were creative. So that is another coping strategy where you just create when you are not okay. Okay, so that's the last points for the benefits, and we have the last part of emotional intelligence, which is talking about the tips on developing emotional intelligence in marriage. What can we do to develop a strong emotional intelligence in marriage? The first point is meditation. Meditation. So the foundation of everything, especially for us Christians, is God. Colossians 1 verse 17 says, "He is before all things, and in him all things hold together." And Joshua 1 verse 8 says, "Do not let this book of law depart from your mouth. Meditate on it day and night, so that you may be careful to do everything written in it." So if you must build a strong emotional intelligence, you must pray about it. You cannot build it if you don't pray about it. It's very important. Yes, when you pray about it, you will get it. Because God says we do not have because we do not ask. So if you ask that you want a strong emotional intelligence, He will give you. Because in Him all things hold together. The second point is write down the emotions you are feeling. Write down the emotions you are feeling. Under the benefits, we also, I gave an example of when there are some people that when they are not okay, they write. Yes, at that point, you can pick a book and write what you are feeling. That's why we see people having diaries. And each day they drop in something. they drop in something. When you take somebody's diary, it's like a book because they write down everything they are feeling. When you name the emotion, you kill the power of that emotion. Yes, when you name that emotion, you have already killed the power of the emotion. It's like you are going through a challenge in life and you discover that it's the devil that is sponsoring that challenge. When you discover that, you've already killed his power because he manipulates us mostly on our ignorance. When you gain awareness, you have killed the power. Then you can address it and rise above it. Take ownership of your emotion and express them in a non-accusatory way. Yes, take ownership of your emotions and express it. Express it, but don't accuse somebody that I'm feeling this thing like this because of you. I'm feeling this thing because you did this, you did this. You can just express yourself. Express what you are feeling, but don't be accusatory about it. You are expressing, we are on the point, write down the emotions you are feeling. Means you are expressing it in a book. You are writing the thing down. The third point is practice active listening. Practice active listening. Give your full attention to your partner and try to understand their perspective. Take a break and calm down before responding to a stressful situation. You know, when you respond to a stressful situation at that moment, you only spark the fire. You rekindle the fire. It's like the situation goes from frying pan to fire. So when you give attention to your partner or to anyone you are having a hinge with and try to understand their own perspective, because we all have our own perspective. Somebody will not just get up and start arguing without his own point. Two people, even twins, cannot have the same way of understanding. So when you see somebody arguing about something, give that person the opportunity to express and try to understand their own perspective. They have a reason. They have their own way they are seeing that thing. And you have your own way you are seeing the thing. Maybe you are somebody with a very high IQ and somebody with a very high EQ is explaining something. Give that person an opportunity to explain and understand their own perspective, because you and the person cannot think the same. The person with a high EQ is socially oriented, while the person with a very high IQ, they are cholerics. It's all about what they want to do. They are choleric, workaholics. Those are the people with a very high IQ. So you give them the opportunity to explain themselves so that you can understand their own perspectives. If you cannot fathom it at that moment, you can take a break to calm down. When you calm down, before you come back and respond to that stressful situation. The fourth point is cognitive behavioral therapy. Cognitive behavioral therapy. This helps you deal with negative thoughts. This therapy helps you to deal with a negative thought. When you keep thinking about a negative feeling, you will end up taking an action. Validate each other's emotions if you do not agree on one very thing. So with this cognitive therapy, it will help you to do a way to deal with a negative thought. Because when you keep thinking about that negative thought, the next thing you are going to do is you are going to take an action. And an action you can take at that moment can never be a very good one. So you think about the thoughts you think before you take an action. If you keep thinking, when we see maybe a divorce case, is because your spouse wronged you and you kept thinking about that negative thing. If you had maybe just allowed the negative thing to rest and pick the positive things the person has been doing, it wouldn't have led you to that point of a divorce. Because when you think about a negative thought, the next thing you are going to do is you are going to take an action. And at that stressful moment, it can never be positive. Okay, the fifth point is help others to feel better. Help others to feel better. The more you help others, the more you feel better. The more you help others, the more you feel better. It is more about how it is communicated than what is communicated. Yes, so at times, maybe in church, when a pastor is preaching, he will make a statement like, this one, I'm not just preaching it to you people, I'm also preaching it to myself. So he is helping us while helping himself. The more you help others, the more you feel better. The more you counsel others about what you are going through, the more you feel better. And you should counsel people positively. Maybe what you are going through is overwhelming you. You don't have to take that over. Like, we are here, we are counselors. For instance, you get up in the house, you leave your house in the morning when you are at knock ahead with your partner. Then you reach your office and maybe a counselee comes in. You will not carry that negative energy and advice that your counselee with. Maybe that situation now, as you are telling the person what he or she has to do, you are also telling yourself. I mean, your conscience will start judging you if I'm telling this person to be patient, but I am not patient. So it is while teaching the person that you will feel better. But you don't have to give them the negative part, because emotional intelligence is about helping people in a positive and constructive way. Yes, so while you teach them, you also get better in the course of teaching. So I think that is the last part of emotional intelligence, which is the tips to developing emotional intelligence. The first one we spoke of meditation. The second one, write down the emotions you are feeling. The third one, practice active listening. The fourth one, cognitive behavioral therapy. The fifth one, help others to feel better. So that is what I had for tonight. I don't know if we have, if there's something that you did not hear and you want me to repeat, or if there's a question. Papa D is here. Papa D will answer the question. Papa D is there. Mabia is there. It will help answer the questions. Or if I can answer, I will still answer. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, Annie.
Thank you, Mommy Solange. So is there anything anybody did not hear? If not, if there's a question, Papa D is there.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening, Rhoda.
Good evening.
Thank you
Yeah,
very
I
much for
think what you said about the adversity quotient.
Adversity quotient. Okay,
It
adversity
was
quotient.
really
Okay, let me repeat what I said on the adversity quotient. Adversity quotient is the ability to go through a challenge and come out of it without losing yourself. The ability to go through a challenge or a situation and come out of it without losing yourself. You can get a scripture, which is Proverbs 24, verse 10, which says, if you faint in the days of your adversity, your strength is small. It means you didn't build enough capacity. That is why you will fail or faint in the days of your adversity. Okay, are we good?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mm,
Do we have questions?
okay.
If we don't have questions, we can please give our contributions. Papa D is in class. Papa D, say something. So in the absence of questions, we can share our contributions, your take home from
Oh,
the class.
thank you. Thank
Good
you
evening,
very
Madam
much.
Tabe.
Good evening. It was very awesome. In fact, you can't imagine that this lesson was prepared just for me.
Thank God.
It's wonderful because I'm going through some kind of, now I can name it. I can say it's an emotional something stress.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm
So
happy to hear that.
mhm. I now I don't know how to name it or which part to name it
Mm.
because I was like a little bit like shocked. Now when you have it kind of mixed feeling, shocked, happy, sad, I don't know, I don't know where to classify it, an A cure or it's only an E cure. I don't know. I think it should be some kind of adversity, something.
It should be AQ
It's
from what I
adversity
read.
quotient. That's if you have overcome that situation. If you don't lose yourself in the course of the situation, then it is an adversity
Yeah.
quotient. Yes.
No, but I'm not gone through it.
Okay.
I'm still moving.
You will not go through it in Jesus' name.
All right. So as we come out of it, we are definitely at the level of on
Mhm.
we have passed through the adversity quotient, right? Now, this area of components of emotional intelligence,
Mhm.
what is it all about? What is it?
Is what embodies emotional intelligence. The components. Sorry?
Okay. So if I understand very well, it means that if I know it's self-awareness, that if I know what I'm going through,
Yes.
and then I get some kind of motivation of how I'm going to come out of it, it's definitely emotional intelligence.
Yes, that's it. You have a strong emotional intelligence. When you identify your emotion, you name it. You look for the reasons why you are feeling that emotion that you are feeling. Because when you identify, name it, there is a very high possibility of you coming out of it. You that have known what you are feeling and trying to deal with that thing or deal with the things that are sponsoring that emotion, the things that are making you feel that thing is different from somebody that is just feeling. You don't even know why you are feeling. You don't even know what is making you to feel that thing. It's going to be very difficult for that kind of person to come out from it. Okay, you can, maybe you are always around people that will bring down your self-esteem. People that always talk down on you. People that no matter how you dress, they will always look for something to say. When you identify those type of people, you already know that, okay, this person, no matter how I dress, the person will always see something wrong. That's, you have identified, yes, that is, you have identified what is making you always feel low of yourself. You try to do away with that person. You don't go to the person. Just you cut off the relationship with the person. Yes, that will help you.
Okay.
Because there are actually some people that if you
Yeah,
maybe
thank
you
you.
have a group of friends and there is one friend that like to be at the top, be ahead. The day you come out with something better than hers, she will always want to look for something to say so that you feel that, okay, no, she is still at the forefront, me, I'm behind, I'm not good enough. It is not a do or die thing. Just cut off your relationship with that kind of person. Yes.
Okay. But at times we have this kind of friends who like kind of unconsciously tuning or feel sad or
Can I,
provoking
it's
kind
not
of people. And it's your
Competition.
friend.
it is not
Yes, mommy,
unconscious.
so. Mhm.
I wanted to just quickly cut it to tell Tabet low. Who causes you bad about yourself in any way, it is not unconscious.
It's very intentional.
They are very about it because that is how they feel better about
Yeah, me too.
themselves.
Seriously.
The only way
Seriously.
that they in life that you could go to so university, and then I knew that I'd hit her too bad. And that person spent their lives. That person spent their life always looking down on me. And after that, I noticed that I'd hit them. They were trying to find other strategies. And in class, we're helping ourselves. And then they started rubbing their marriage in my face because I'm not married. Yes. So they're always looking for things to be a step ahead of you. No matter how it is, they want to be ahead. Yes. There's nothing like unconscious.
You think they are unconscious, but they know what they are doing very well. Because they know what you feel after they say
Greetings,
what they
everybody.
have to say. Good evening.
Thank you for that.
Who is talking, please?
This one is for
Papa Z,
this
is
is
that
Lady.
you?
That's Lady
That's
Love.
Lady
Oh,
Love.
Lady Love, welcome, ma. I'm happy you were able to join.
Yes, yeah. So your message. You say, let me. I was doing one or two things. So let me try and people, and I've been learning some good nuggets. Oh, for the knowledge you're pouring, I'm learning.
Thank you, ma. Thank you. Okay, Papa Z.
And
Okay, Mommy So.
Yeah, Uncle Lady.
Papa D, maybe I just finish and then you put your nail on it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, Papa D. Something I've never really paid attention to. And thank you for the adversity quotient. I had heard about it faintly, never really studied about it, or it never really came alive like you did today. In very simple terms, you were able to break it, and I understood. And what I'm taking from this lesson, what I'm taking from this class especially, is this adversity quotient part. And the joy about it is learning that, it's not learning. It's the fact that not everybody will have it. So it is still precious. It is still reserved for a few. Because if you can go through and be able to talk about it and gain the strength to stand after going through any form or all kinds of adversity, and become intelligent in that area, then you have an asset. And it's something that we really don't pay attention to. I think it is in the recent past that we have started giving attention to the processes of our lives, giving attention to the trials, knowing that it is the trials that make us.
Mm-hmm.
They're not meant to break us. I was talking with someone when I was 4 and I wanted me to name it. Okay, now I know that to go through it, you have to name it. And the person wanted me to give it a name. Well, she was just asking questions. And it was much later that I realized that, okay, having me talk about it, giving it a name was one of the steps that I had to take to heal. What I'm pointing out is she did not know when I said midlife crisis, she did not understand what I meant by that. And being my age mate, she has never gone through anything, nothing. In fact, life has always just been. So she was like, what's midlife crisis? What do you mean by that? How does it manifest? How are you feeling? What is wrong? Yes, I know. I understand this. I understand. But how does it leave you feeling? Why do you give it such a name? So I'm just happy having learned all these things that I can call them. That is, there are words. To it, and that by using those words, we can help